Hi House Beautiful, I'm Abi Campbell. This is a sandbox. Welcome to my home. Come in. We are in Camber Sands, which is on the south coast of England. Initially I bought it as potentially a second home, a holiday home. And as I came down and started spending more time here, at the beginning of the renovation, I realised that I wanted to live here because I love it so much. And yeah, I haven't looked back really. It's gone from being a holiday home to my heart home, which I adore and love, and everybody loves who comes here. I had a very clear idea of what I wanted to do with it in terms of the interiors, and that's because I planned to go and live in California and go and do a renovation in Joshua Tree. I hadn't worked out how I was going to get there. That was a bit of a fly in the ointment, not having a green card. But I was incredibly inspired by a mix of California interiors, and that was sort of that Venice beach house where they would have white cladding, and also Northern California around sort of Big Sur, a cabin feel, cedar clad cabins. And then Joshua Tree, which is really eclectic, but you know, one of the things about Joshua Tree is because it's in the desert, they would mostly have concrete floors and the sheepskins and lots of mid-century furniture with touches of sort of like Native American, but lots of wood and like warm colours. So that was my vision. This is my kitchen. I originally planned to push out this way and I was going to do a galley kitchen, but that plan got blocked, so I had to rethink, and it was quite a small area. I knew that I wanted an open plan dining kitchen room, and I have my living room through there. It's an oak veneer kitchen, and when they suggested veneer, I was totally freaked out. I was like, I don't want a veneer kitchen. Like veneer, like, you know, you think back to, I mean, I was born in the 70s, like veneer kitchens, you know, are not very cool. And in my head, and a lot of the influences that I was looking at online for what I wanted for the design would look like solid wood. But they were really reluctant to use solid wood, and especially because I live by the sea, so like moisture levels, if you're going to do big panels of solid wood, they're going to twist and warp. I did a bit of research online and I saw that actually the best kitchen companies in the world use veneer, so they convinced me of that. This is the dining space. Really, this is where I spend most of my time, or when people come around, this is where we hang out. I'm obsessive about lighting. So this is an example of something that I found which totally suited my aesthetic. The artist is based in Los Angeles. She's quite a collectible artist called Heather Levine. This house that was very inspirational for me, called Topanga Cabin, they had this wall hanging, and I fell in love with the wall hanging almost more than anything else in the house. And I researched it because that's what I do. I kept putting in wall hangings, ceramics, driftwood, whatever, until I tracked down this artist. And that's when I found that she did these light fittings. I love almost like that sort of 1960s lava ceramics look, but they're still modern, but they cast such a beautiful light. One of the comments I get a lot about this house is the sense of the openness of the space. And I have tried to avoid putting in doors in some places so that you do get that feeling of flow. And there are various places in the house where there's just cut out holes, like here and behind me. And also behind there is a cutout in the wall so light can come into the bathroom. And it does really bring in light into the darker rooms and creates a sense of lightness and space. So this is what I would call, I suppose, my living room, or my snug. It's the first room you come into in the house. The fire is the center point, the focal point of the room. It's a really beautiful room in the winter where you can light the log fire. Right from the word go, I knew that I'd seen this image on Pinterest of this long concrete bench. It was very difficult to design and to know how to make and look chic. But I ended up finding an artist in Bristol, and he made that concrete in one solid piece. I don't know how he did it, but he arrived with 3 people, and within like centimeters of the wall, they just like slid this solid piece of concrete in. So it might not look much, but that is a solid cast bit of white concrete. And of course, when you're putting a massive stove on top, it's got to be able to weight bear. And I think he's done an amazing job with that. And then I've got, of course, my record player and my classic vinyl. A bit of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young and Joni Mitchell, and put that on a cold winter night and light a fire and chill out here on my sheepskins. You might notice there's a lot of pendants over lamps in corners, and that's because the type of lighting that I chose, these downlighters, you can move them to pinpoint, so actually they take the place of a lamp. So normally you might put a lamp in that corner that's dark, or that corner, or buy a piece of artwork. But the advantage of having this sort of gallery lighting is you can do away with low-level lamps and you can just spot places in the room instead, which means that you can make features and almost like a piece of art from the pendants that are hanging down. So a challenge about this house, which was called the Warrens when I bought it, was named after the fact it was actually like a rabbit warren. It didn't really make sense the way the rooms, you had to go through 2 bedrooms to get to the 3rd bedroom. So we had to find a way to open up and flow the rooms together, and that meant cutting holes in doors, and being clever about creating like false hallways and things. But in the end, this side of the house, which is the side that the kitchen, diner, all the light comes through, it became like my suite, like a bedroom suite. So I had my bedroom and an ensuite bathroom, but an office. I had to lose a bedroom to create a room that you had to walk through to get to my bedroom, and that became my office, which in the end was perfect because it means that all of the space that I live in is along the side with all the windows that looks out into the garden. So I can sit and work and open up the double doors and like hear the sea and see my garden, and it really feels like I'm in like some kind of amazing hotel. Like hotel rooms that just open up onto little terraces. And that's how it feels. It feels like super luxe, and I love it. I love all the light and the sound of the sea. We all love a Pinterest board, and these open wardrobes are this sort of like Spanish vibes of rendered brick. Do they just build it in brick, but then how do they do a lintel and do all of that stuff? Anyway, in the end, I built it out of MDF and I had it micro-cemented, and it definitely does give a feeling of it looking like solid stone. I did originally think I was going to put some curtains up on the front because I saw lots of really lovely Pinterest boards with like fabric in front. It's so beautiful, like in there you can see the plaster behind, and I got sapele rails. I love my wardrobe. I love my bedroom. I love being able to open the doors, and the sea is over there, so there's no light pollution. So when you've got a full moon, it's like there's a lamp on in the room, and I can see the stars from my bed, and I can hear the sea from my bed, and I can hear the wind moving through the grass from my bed and the wind chimes. It really is like being on holiday every day. I have 2 en-suites in the house, and with my ensuite, the bathrooms are all quite small. There's no windows in any of the bathrooms. They're all in the internal bit of the house. So I put a skylight up to give some light, and the challenge was to find a cool bath that was going to fit in a small bathroom. And I loved the Japanese soaking tubs, like the cedar, the warm wood, but I wanted sapele and I didn't want to put too much wood in. So I ended up finding this bath, which is modelled on a Japanese soaking tub. So you can't really lie back and like read a book in it, but it's deep, like you're literally up to here submerged in water, and I'm a big bath person. My son's gone off to uni, and my daughter's in her last 2 years of A-levels and gone off to like a creative boarding school. When I moved down here, I wanted to build a house that felt like when people came here, it felt like a hotel or like a retreat. And obviously that meant that I couldn't bring all of the children's things here, which was a bit of a dilemma because I felt a bit guilty. I got a lockup down the road, like a 40-foot container, and I boxed up all their toys and their books and their old baby clothes and all their little things. And I felt bad that I had sort of, taken away their bedrooms, but at the same time, when they come and stay, I've got an E on the wall for Ellis, and I've got a J on the wall for Jemima in her room. And actually, I think when they come here, they kind of like They didn't moan about me decluttering, but when they come here, they love it. Like, it's like they've come on holiday, and I think they get it now. They can come and decompress in this house, but they still have their own bedrooms, and this one has a mezzanine, so it's still got a little bit of a childlike quality to it. And yeah, they love it. They absolutely love coming down here. And I'm sure as they get older, they're going to appreciate it even more. So I wanted to add some elements of surprise to the house. As people walk through, this is the room where people stop at the door and they go, "Oh my God, wow, that's so cool." And I think, you know, the mezzanine's got quite a childlike quality to it. How many people have slept up there? Maybe 2 in the last year and a half. But my son has had his friends stay up there. And it's a quirky little corner, and I love little surprises like that in houses, when you just turn a corner and you find something unexpected. So I talked about depersonalising the space, but Bunny made it. And Bunny was bought for him on the day he was born, and he never let it go. He hasn't gone to university with Bunny, but yeah, Bunny's still here. Bunny's still alive and kicking here. And then I found this in Joshua Tree, which said Ellis on it. And it says on the back, "He was not one given to fancy thoughts or high-standing jinkery," which is quite cute. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the sandbox and that you found some inspiration in some of the things that I've talked about, and thanks for watching.